Coming up on today's show, St. John's has parking restrictions in place and why you shouldn't be upset about them. Shopping for the holidays, even Christmas trees are feeling the pain of inflation. You'll hear some great music from CNA music students, and you'll see two documentaries, a new Canadian following her dream and another seeking a safe haven. Welcome to Kicker News. I'm Arlette Lazarenko.
And I'm Sakib with Rhivu. Today we have some stories coming up. Many of them are about immigrants.
But first, if you're used to parking in downtown St. John's, well now, parking on some roads is restricted. Here is Sakib ibn Rashid Rhivu with that story.
Starting from Thursday, December 1st, drivers are not allowed to park on designated snow routes in St. John's till the end of March. Not all drivers are following this restriction. Jim Parsons lives on Barnes Road for 20 years.
In order for plows to be able to get through and to put snow somewhere, there needs to be a parking ban on one side of this one-way street. Otherwise, there'd be parking on both and the plow couldn't get through and the road would be blocked.
The city of St. John's has posted a reminder on social media. Tony Walsh is a parking enforcement officer at Cabot Place Parking Garage.
Because it's so close to downtown core, this place can get quite busy. We're going to see quite an increase in traffic going through this place. Usually it's more transient people who come in through here, who are going here for a little while and then gone again.
Parsons says proper enforcement is important for the residents.
If the city shows up here to snow clear and this one vehicle is preventing them from clearing the whole road, then a ticket is kind of sensible because it's wasting everyone's time.
Illegally parked vehicles might be ticketed or towed regardless of snow or street conditions. Sakib ibn Rashid Rhivu, Kicker News, St. John's.
The Christmas spirit is high around this time of the year, and so is the inflation. In this next story, Arlette Lazarenko checks if the cost of living has affected the cost of Christmas trees. Take a look.
Prices of many goods we buy day to day has gone up, so what about things we buy annually, like Christmas trees? I'm here at Lester's farm to see how inflation affected the cost of Christmas trees. Manager Susan Lester Ryan says many trees are shipped from Nova Scotia, and so the price of getting them on the island plays a big role.
The transportation costs went up by 30%, and of course that's something that everyone is seeing right across any kind of business that's run here in Newfoundland. A 12-foot tree, which unfortunately we are sold out of those ones, that one went up by about $15.
Jasmine Putt works at the farm, and she noticed the reactions from customers.
Customers bringing it to our attention like, oh, this has gone up a lot, but of course there's really nothing we can do as it's everywhere.
However, she says business is still looking good for Christmas.
Expect still having like really busy traffic flow in here for Christmas. You know, Christmas is a really busy time of year. Even though with the prices gone up, I still expect it to be a really good year, outcome, season.
From the tree, the gifts, and the food on the table, for many Canadians, this Christmas might look a little bit more expensive. For Kicker News, I'm Arlette Lazarenko, St. John's. During winter, people put studded tires on their vehicles for added safety. Kicker Sakib ibn Rashid Rhivu talked with some experts to find if that really helps. Here's the story.
First, the drivers of Newfoundland and Labrador are allowed to put studded tires on their vehicles for the next 6 months. Steel Honda mechanics are spending busy time to cope up with the high demand. According to the production manager Jody Warren, studded tires damage roads every year, yet people put them on to feel safer behind the wheel. But he says the reality could be different.
The coefficient of friction between your tire and the asphalt is greater than a steel stud and the asphalt. If you had two cars in the exact same situation, the car with the studs is going to take longer to stop because it's actually going to slide.
Jim Brazil is a defensive driving instructor at Safety NL. He says choice of tires is important for safety.
A studded tire has a greater chance of hydroplaning. So if you're driving really fast because you have a studded tire on and think that it provides a greater level of safety, well, in certain conditions it doesn't. It actually can lead to an increased chance of hydroplaning.
Warren says people oftentimes use started tires without knowing their purpose.
What a stud is designed for is it goes in your tire to give you a better bite and ice. So let's say you're in a province like Manitoba. Manitoba is too cold for salt to be effective to melt the snow and the ice that's on the road. So they just put sand down on the ice, and that gives your car a better grip. And then the added feature is if you put studs in your tires, the studs will actually grip into the ice so you can drive over the ice better. Here in Newfoundland, however, very rarely in the wintertime are we driving on a road that's actually a sheet of ice. We use salt. Salt melts the snow and melts the ice. So for the majority of the winter in Newfoundland, we're riding on either bare asphalt or wet asphalt.
Brazil says tires alone can't prevent collisions.
They think because I have studded tires on, then I'm able to drive closer. Well, that's questionable if the conditions are such that no matter what you do, that 3 seconds is not enough. Your experience in driving is going to be the biggest factor in terms of collisions and upset, that sort of thing.
Warren says tire technology has come a long way.
I understand that people have been taught forever. You know, my grandfather said always have studded tires on your car. I mean, back when my grandfather's day, they used to put chains on the cars and the car tires to give them grip, right? But a good winter tire in our climate is the best way. I mean, studs in Newfoundland, in my opinion, not optimal.
Whether it's safe or not, drivers can use started tires till the end of April. Sakib ibn Rashid, Rhivu, Kicker News, St. John's.
Coming up later on the show, we're going to see some documentaries. But first, let's have a music break. Today, we're featuring some tunes from our talented friends in CNA Applied Music Program. Let's start with a song by Sally Holloway.
Tonight we're going to be singing I See Red by Everybody Loves an Outlaw. We switched the genre of the song from rock to more like a ballad. Did you really think I'd just forgive and forget? No, after catching you with her, your blood should run cold, so cold. You two-time and cheap lying wannabe, you're a fool. If you thought that I'd just let this go, I see red, red, oh red. A gun to your head, head to your head. Now I see is red, red, red. Did you really just say she didn't mean anything? I remember those words when I come for your soul, your soul. Know that you dug your own grave, not lying in it. You're so cool, but revenge is a dish best served cold. I see red.
are so done. You better sleep with one eye open tonight. I see red, red, oh red. A gun to your head, head to your head. Executioner style, and there won't be no trial. Don't you know that you're better off dead? All I see is red, red, oh red. All I see is red, 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 red.
116 Afghan family came to St. John's last year in search of a safe place. How are they doing after 1 year? I spent a whole day with a refugee family to hear their stories. Take a look.
मेरा एक चीज़ इधर से बहुत खुश हो गया, मैं बहुत पसंद किया। ये लोग तुम लोग का रिलीजन को कुछ बात भी नहीं कर रहे, उसको बोल रहा है, कुछ टच भी नहीं कर रहा है। कोई नहीं बोलेगा तुम मुस्लिम है, तुम क्रिश्चियन है, तुम कौन है, किधर से आया, किधर से जा रहा है। ये बहुत अच्छा बात है। मैं अफ़गानिस्तान से नाटू से काम किया, बाद उधर से तालिबान आने को टाइम बाद हम लोग भी लेके आया इधर, क्योंकि हम लोग का ज़िंदगी उधर सेफ नहीं था, इसीलिए हम लोग को लेके आया। मेरा फैमिली में मेरा साथ मेरा बीवी है, बाद 6 बच्चे, 3 daughter है, 3 son। हम लोग इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट का काबुल को उधर हम लोग काम किया। हम लोग 15 साल से उधर काम किया। बाद तालिबान आने को टाइम सब अफ़गानिस्तान से पकड़ा, बाद एयरपोर्ट भी कवर किया। बाद हम लोग एयरपोर्ट का अंदर था, बाहर से बहुत आदमी आया, सब तालिबान से डरने के लिए सब बाहर जाना चाहिए था। बाद हम लोग वो लोग का बात किया, वो लोग हम लोग का एक लिस्ट बना दिया, एक लिस्ट मेरा बच्चा सब नाम को उसका अंदर था। बहुत राउंड से हम लोग वो लोग का कॉल किया, वो गेट से तक बहुत मुश्किल से आया, बाद हम लोग बहुत मुश्किल से लेके आया अंदर से।
I'm going to the gym right now, so see you after 2 hours.
Okay, see you.
See you.
Take care.
Thanks.
हम लोग सेंट जॉन से आने का बाद बहुत मुश्किल था हम लोग का, क्योंकि हम लोग इधर नीचे आने का पहला बार से इधर को देखा, कंट्री को देखा, बाद में नया पीपल का, नया आदमी लोग का, नया सब चीज़ का नया था, सब चीज़ डिफरेंट है इधर। हम लोग का कंट्री को देखने के लिए सब चीज़ डिफरेंट है। बट हम लोग का बहुत मुश्किल से सुलूले हम लोग का मतलब बच्चा लोग का देखिए स्कूल से भेजा, बात के मैं खुद भी देखिए स्कूल से जाएगा वो लैंग्वेज के लिए। और हम लोग देखा, वो पहला मालूम नहीं था बस स्टॉप किधर है, अच्छे से स्टोर किधर है, सब मालूम नहीं था हम लोग का। बाद में सुलूले और सम पीपल भी मदद किया, सम गवर्नमेंट से जैसे आदमी भेजा हम लोग को मदद किया। अभी तो कुछ मुश्किल नहीं है हम लोग के लिए। काम करने के लिए अभी तक को मेरा कुछ मालूम नहीं है क्या। मैं अभी एक जगह वो स्कूल से गवर्नमेंट मदद करने का हम लोग का कंस्ट्रक्शन एक कंपनी है, उधर से आएगा, हम लोग का ट्रेनिंग देता है। बाद में वो लोग बोला 3 महीना बाद काम भी मिलेगा, तुम लोग का काम भी दिएगा। अभी मैं उधर भी जाएगा, मतलब फ्राइडे और सैटरडे जाएगा कंस्ट्रक्शन ट्रेनिंग सिखा के लिए।
Life in Canada it's better than Afghanistan, because in Afghanistan there was not security, or we are not safe, because that when we came to Canada, here is better than Afghanistan. Now here we study at school, we are going to school, our school is better, that's like good than Afghanistan, because that our life is good. Because last year I didn't talk English. I did, but not more. Like now it's better my English.
हम लोग पास से जाएगा कभी जगह, मतलब शॉपिंग से जाएगा, कुछ वो बाइक का घर से जाने के लिए हम लोग का ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का बस यूज़ कर रहा है, क्योंकि मेरा फैमिली बड़ा है, मेरा गाड़ी भी नहीं है, इसीलिए बस से जाएगा। ये कंट्री बहुत डिफरेंट कंट्री है, क्योंकि अभी मेरा बहुत नेबर है इधर, वो किसी को मैं नहीं जानता है, वो लोग भी मेरा नहीं जानता है। एक में नहीं है, ठीक है, मैं अच्छा अफगानिस्तान का है, एक नहीं जानता है तो सही है, लेकिन वो लोग खुद को भी नहीं जानता है। लेकिन अच्छा हमारा कंट्री ऐसा नहीं है, मेरा कंट्री को अभी मैं इधर ये पूरा मेरा नेबरहुड को पूरा जानता है, वो लोग भी मेरा जानता है।
Mama, what do you like Canada? School. What do you don't like Canada? Boss. Okay. Mahmoud, what do you like in Canada? I like park school. And what do you not like Canada? I don't like car.
बच्चा लोग को चाहिए मेरा 3 डॉक्टर होने के लिए, 3 बच्चा अच्छे इंजीनियर होने के लिए चाहिए। अफगानिस्तान से लाइफ बहुत अच्छा है, मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा है, मेरा बच्चा लोग के लिए अच्छा है, क्योंकि वो मेरा कंट्री, वो सब मेरा फैमिली उधर ही है, बाप माँ भाई सिस्टर सब उधर ही है। लेकिन अफगानिस्तान अभी सेफ नहीं है, क्योंकि तालिबान आया, अभी बहुत मुश्किल हो गया उधर, मतलब वो लड़की लोग स्कूल नहीं जा सकता है अभी, मतलब मेरा बहुत बच्चा लोग ऐसा था, एक मेरा के लिए नहीं है, मेरा वो बच्चा लोग मतलब रास्ता से अच्छे स्कूल जा रहा है, उधर से एक आदमी उधर से अच्छे से एक्सप्लोजन कर रहा है, उधर से कितना बच्चा मर जाएगा, कितना आदमी मर जाएगा। तुम सुबह घर से बाहर आने का तुम कभी नहीं बोल सकता है मैं 100% फिर वापस आएगा घर से। मेरा एक नया प्रॉब्लम है, अगर मैं काम से जाएगा 2:30 बजे मेरा बच्चा लोग स्कूल लेकर आएगा, ये मेरा नया प्रॉब्लम। अभी उसके लिए सोच रही है क्या करने के लिए मालूम नहीं है सोच कर रहा है मैं एक बात बोल रहा हूँ अगर तुम लोग का जिंदगी सेव है खुद का कंट्री को रहने दो इधर से मत आओ अगर सेव नहीं है तो मजबूर है तो वो तो मजबूर है मुश्किल नहीं है अब
Welcome back. So, Rhivu, it's been a couple of weeks since you filmed this. How is the family doing today?
Oh, you know, Arlette, it's good that you're asking me the question now, because if you would ask me the question yesterday at this time, I wouldn't have any update. Because just last night, I was going to the wholesale club to pick up some ginger and garlic for cooking, and I met the family there, waiting outside for the taxi, and I asked him that how you're doing, and he told me that just on the right place, that he was telling me that how he is desperately looking for a vehicle at this moment. If you can remember in the documentary, we were telling, like he was telling, that he has a bigger family and he need a bigger car for that. So he's really desperately looking for a vehicle because it's been really difficult for him and for his wife to take the kids to the school and coming back during this winter season. That's pretty much it.
It's hard for new immigrants with cars especially, finding a way around. Yeah,
that's true.
Story.
But anyway, it's time to catch our breath and kick back with another song from CNS Applied Music students. Here's the very talented Rachel Seward and her band.
Time ain't gonna wait for even you, my friend. I can't stay late, I'm looking at the end. Haste high, hypnotized and sucked into that scene. Taking on the guise it wasn't really me. Hard years later, we're still hanging on for the same jackpot score that's never gonna come. Not running away now, been running all day, but it's falling apart now. It's been coming all day, for I have been your laughing boy. I took it on the chin, accepted gracefully, and all the heat that you deploy, the more I take, the more I break. Cooking fires on the beach, smoke finger in the sky. You know that's where I should be, my baby by my side. Good times from the start, remember that for now. The palace gang's back to hold things, and that's my cue, I'm getting out in style. For I have been your laughing boy. I took it on the chin, accepted gracefully, and all the heat that you deploy, the more I take, the more
Imagine finding a community of people who speak your language and are offering the support you need. In this next story, I went to the heart of a growing community here in St. John's. Take a look. In the heart of St. John's, Spanish is spoken. A community of Mexicans and other Latin American people gather in this house often. This house belongs to the woman who makes it her mission to bring them together.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Wosney. I'm from Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico, and I live now in St. John's for almost 8 years. When I moved to St. John's, I don't know, nobody from Mexico or no one speaks Spanish around because the Latin community was really small back then. Like a couple of months and I don't find nobody, like single person speaks Spanish to me and I feel so lonely.
18 years ago, Cynthia moved from Mexico to Canada. She has 4 children. She and her husband Michael, a Newfoundlander, founded 2 Mexican food businesses, Celesteca and Poco Loco. It was through the food that Cynthia met people who longed for those familiar smells and flavors from home. And like a bouquet of flowers, she gathered them. Cynthia and her friends created a Facebook group for the growing community. It has almost 300 members.
Now I know so many people and I try to help the more I can, when I can, because I know how it feels when you are alone here. I have my family, my kids and my husband is my family, right? But even that, for me, my friends or the Latin community is my immigration family, or the family God put me in my way.
One recent member of the community is a classic example of how much support one longs for when arriving to a new country.
No sé qué tienen las flores, llorona, las flores del Campo Santo.
My name is, my full name is Ana Cristina Hernandez Garcia, but my shortly is like Cristina Hernandez, and also is my stage name, you know.
Cristina is a Mexican musician. She arrived to St. John's a little over a year ago with her partner Ulises and their 8-year-old son Diego.
First 8 months here, I didn't met anyone. Well, just Canadian people, but not like create real friendships or real relationship. I got anxiety and depressed a little bit, and also the snow part, all the cold part, and I had a lot of things. Take care of my baby, try to get the more money I can to be successful here, to don't come back to Mexico. So I really felt with a lot of responsibilities. And first 6 months here, I didn't do too much music. I was really busy in all my job and all that stuff, and tried to feel better with myself, with my own.
And then Cristina met a person who would help her music career skyrocket.
I want to thank her because she's a super beautiful person. She's Mexican, Mariana Castro. I met the Latin American community. Thanks to Marianita Castro, she invited me to sing for the church in a Spanish mass. And then I started meeting people, Latin American people.
Mariana Castro Carvajal is a member of the Latin community and the program coordinator in Music NL. It was through her job in Music NL that she met Cristina and could offer help. She remembers the struggles of being a new Canadian, facing loneliness and looking for belonging.
I had 2 friends from Honduras, and I met them at church. So, those were my Latin American family, and then obviously through them and through Cynthia, there were a lot of other events where I started to kind of network. You definitely want to build that sense of belonging in any place that you arrive. it's something that you need. Like, it's really nice to have it, because if not, like, it would be very, very lonely. Because it's very hard to be immigrant in any country and in any place.
You are outside your country. The only thing you want to do is, okay, where is my people?
We come just with one luggage. ¿Cómo se llama así? Luggage? One or two. With the most important things you can save, and the rest is in your country with your whole life. But we just came with 2 luggage, and that's it. But for looking for a new opportunities for our lives.
With all the struggles of building a life in a new country, with a new language, having a community you can relate to makes a world difference.
And if they need something, we can approve that information, or where they can go when it's winter, for example, find the stores for anything, right?
One of the things, I guess, that we have all experienced is like the struggle of maybe not understanding the language, which in my case was not understanding the Newfoundlanders. It's a true struggle. It's very helpful that now that we are kind of more time here, we have had all those experiences already, so we can help people, and that makes me feel very good.
Every Latin American person I've met here is like my siblings, or I don't know, my cousins. Just took them as your family, and also really as your families.
And when support aligns with hard work, great things happen.
I got nominated for Music NL Awards for the Global Music Artist. I didn't win, but I think it was great because we're like making noise. And people here, I was just like walking and, hey, I know you, you're Christina. And I was like, oh my God. It feels like super warm in my soul, in my heart, in my mind, in my body, because I never got, I don't know, like an award or something. I never get anything in Mexico, but here is like, hey, I know you. Hey, you're the singer, and I was like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I'm in the right path, and well, it feels so wonderful.
I'm always gonna say thank you, and thank you for all the people to support us, because if we don't have the people, we are no nothing, right?
So Arlette, I'm from South Asia, but your documentary really got me into Latin culture and community. So if I want to get updated or I want to join any of their events, what's the way?
Well, it's interesting because in the documentary, when I spoke to Cynthia, she actually mentioned to me that her community, the community really is open to everyone who wants to join, who wants to appreciate the culture. And their Facebook group, it's growing, right? Almost 300 people, and it's always full of events. So yeah, really great. You should check it out.
It's a good time to make some Argentine fan, like friends, because I'm an Argentina fan.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, and now we have some more stories coming up, but let's have a music break first. And here is Applied Music Program Greta Warner with the next song.
My name is Greta Warner. I am a local St. John's musician. I'm studying applied music here at CNA. I've been writing songs and performing for about 5 years now. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be here and get to play one of my originals for you.
Tell us about this song.
So this song is called The Goldfish. I wrote it during the first lockdown. I was heartbroken in a very 16-year-old way over somebody I didn't know. I had just invented a person who I fell for. And this song is basically just about that experience, about the realization that I never knew this person, that I was never gonna know this person, and that I needed to get over myself.
All right. Let's
Cool.
hear it.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go. So yeah, this is the goldfish.
I'll be sitting by the window in my dressing gown when you tell me that you love me. Cigarette in my hand, you'll stand above me. Black-haired and black-lunged and beautiful and clean. I've been so poisoned by your scene. This town is getting smaller by the day, and I have seen you everywhere but my ashtray since the day you said you'd never want me and that I should go away. My apologies, dear. I'm a burnout, a goldfish sprawled out, and I'm drowning in air. Can I try again? Whoever you want to be near, I'll pretend to be. Here I am, love me or leave me. No, please don't go. I know you don't need me, but I'll try to show you you do. A third time's charm for the goldfish, for me and the window and you. You stick to all my skin like glue. I filled up my collarbones like cups for you, and I am tired of being painted green and blue for someone with a pretty face I never really knew. I think it's time we start again. Watch all the tar that bubbled up slip down the drain, and I can see you gilded, illuminated, wrapped in cellophane, but you belong in darkness, and there you shall remain. My apologies, dear. I'm a burnout, a goldfish sprawled out, and I'm drowning in air. Can I try again? Whoever you want to be near, I'll pretend to be. Here I am, love me or leave me. No, please don't go. I know you don't need me, but I'll try to show you you do. A third time's charm for the goldfish, for me and the window.
Right before the song, we watched a documentary by Arlette about Latin community and culture. Speaking of new Canadians, Newfoundland has seen a stream of Ukrainian refugees in the past few months. For the next story, Kiger's Arlette Lazarenko visited a home where a Ukrainian refugee shared some traditional meals with her Newfoundland hosts. Take a look.
Welcome to Kicker News. My name is Arlette Lazarenko. I'm in the house of Yulia Bondareva. She is a Ukrainian refugee that got here 3 weeks ago, and she invited us here into her hosting home, where she's going to teach us how to cook some Ukrainian food and tell us about her journey here.
Сегодня я буду готовить вареники с картошкой и с грибами, и с луком. Это национальное украинское блюдо вареники. В Украине очень любят это блюдо, то есть где-то, может, больше 100 лет этому рецепту, потому что украинцы вареникоеды. Мне очень нравится готовить еду. Вот. У меня очень много своих идей насчет готовки еды. И, конечно, в дальнейшем бы хотела иметь свой небольшой ресторан, вот, чтобы люди тут в Ньюфаундленде попробовали наши национальные блюда.
Bondareva came to Newfoundland with her 14-year-old daughter, Karina, and now they are living with retired teacher Kathy Quigley and her husband.
Seeing all of the news on Ukraine, we couldn't believe that was actually happening to our world in 2022.
Я дала объявление
в Фейсбуке, я помню, группа Newfoundland Host, что-то Help такое вот. И там, кстати, откликнулась русская девушка. Она уже живет тут в Ньюфаундленде лет 5-6, вот, Мария. И она мне написала, что у нее есть знакомые, Кейти и Нил, которые с радостью бы нас с дочкой возьмут к себе жить.
I just think from day one it was like we knew that we wanted Julia and Karina to come to our home.
What's it like having them both here?
It's lovely. we're having so much fun.
Canadian mom.
Yeah. I know it's a really, really sad time, but there are times we do have really good laughs, don't we? As we sort of muddle our way through. And the first morning she came down and there was soup for breakfast.
У них тоже есть очень интересные национальные блюда. Вот мне нравится, когда Кэти готовит курицу и мне нравится их яичница с беконом. Вот на завтрак Нил мне готовит.
I know.
Да, и уже 3 недели, как мы тут живем возле океана, в красивом месте, тихом, красивом месте. Спасибо, конечно, Ньюфаундленду и людям, которые помогли нам сюда приехать с дочкой.
I just think you have to know inside of you that if that sort of little voice says, I can do that, you should really just go for it.
With more Ukrainians coming, we could probably see more of this kind of food on our plates. For Kicker News, I'm Arlette Lazarenko.
Veterans from the Canadian Legion Branch 1.
Somebody to have 2 broken wrists, save a life, save someone's home.
Canadian Legion Branch 1 attended a Remembrance Day Assembly Tuesday at Waterford Valley High School. Sergeant at Arms Bob Mahon leads the color party.
It educates the younger generation. You saw young cadets there this morning. Some of those young cadets, and there's 15, 16-year-olds at that school, when they graduate from grade 12 and we show up downtown or up at the cemetery, you're going to see students just standing around a grandfather's grave, grandma's grave, showing their support to our veterans, whether they're dead or alive.
Terry Mercer is a member of the Legion.
It was a real honor to do this with my father. His picture's up on that wall there as we speak now. That's why I'm here, because my grandfather, his father, was in the First World War.
That we don't realize how much and how lucky we have, and just to learn and remember and reflect on all of the things that they did for us and the freedom we have in this country.
The singing Legionnaires sang World War medleys. Bruce Eddy is the newest and youngest member of the band.
It keeps the generation gap between the young and the old, especially in the war, and it brings back to them the days that the boys were overseas fighting, and it keeps it alive and makes it happen, and we're glad to be doing it.
Mahon says these events let young people know what the veterans went through.
So for some of them, the war's not over. That war is still going on. We know about PTSD and what was known as shell shock back in the day. If you were anywhere near a bomb going off, you came home not the same as when you left.
The members of the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 1 attended 9 assemblies this year. Sakib ibn Rashid, Rhivu, Kicker News, St. John's.
And now to end our show, here's a piece about the Avalon Expo, an event where cosplayers, gamers, and self-proclaimed geeks come together for a full day of events. I wasn't wearing a costume, but I blended right in. Here's the story. The 9th Avalon Expo began this Saturday 12 at the Holiday Inn. Cosplay lovers and geeks unite for 2 days full of shows.
Cosplay is short for costume roleplay. It's basically, it's like Halloween, but all the time. It's kind of a hobby for me. I don't post it anywhere, but I do like to dress up. I do like to do some dances. It's really fun.
In the first floor, you find shops where some vendors are selling their own art.
All of the stuff on the table, I put a lot of time into. It was a lot, like, it all means so much to me, and I wanted to share it with other people. I look forward to getting to talk to a lot of people because the day hasn't been going on so far yet, and like I haven't gotten to see everyone's cosplays, and it's just like even so far, like a couple of people that like aren't vendors that I've talked to have been so nice, and they've been really just, they seem to appreciate my art. I don't know, I just, good things to come for the day.
Downstairs are vintage computers with games from the past and board games on every table. It's also where we find Mary Farrell, one of the event's organizers, helping people with their costumes while thoroughly geeking out herself.
I've always loved dressing up. I've always loved Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I've always loved costumes. Holiday Inn is used to us by now. The staff doesn't blink anymore. They're in shock for the first little while. But it's going to be really fun. You never know what you're going to turn around the corner and say.
More information about next year's Avalon Expo could be found in avalonexpo.com. For Kicker News, I'm Arlette Lazarenko.
That's all for now. To check out more stories from our student journalists, you can visit www.kickercna.ca. Also, you can visit our YouTube channel called Kicker News.
And that was our show. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining us. And we hope you enjoy the holiday season. Happy Hanukkah.
And also, early Merry Christmas. Hope your year ends well. See you next year.
Oh, that was